I've been on tour.
You couldn't even make it through the first scene.
It was a joke. Tour was a joke. My goodness.
It's a clear-cut case. Professional treat you right, amateurs treat you like
I had to bring my gear everywhere. We went to a church where you thought, church have a set, right? No, this particular church don't have a set. And 15 other choirs is playing tonight, so they gotta use your kit too.
I realized I was playing a professional gig when I was getting on an airplane with a passport. When I had my passport in my hand, I knew I was off to the future.
Man, I've done a lot of professional gigs. And
Name one.
Bro, I've done corporate gigs. I've done all kind of stuff.
For who?
For your mother. That's who.
Some of the amateur gigs. Let me say all the amateur gigs. I had to provide my own sound, had to bring your own drum set, mics, cables, board, speakers. You got to set up, sound check, watch sound the entire night. All that for some cold, soggy nachos.
I mean, I'm just saying, what gig have you been on, amateur gig, where you felt like, man, I can't wait to do this again?
One thing that I learned about tour, just because you're on the road does not mean that you get the treatment. There's a difference between the treatment and doing a gig. I mean, you could play anywhere and call it professional because you got paid, but if you didn't get the treatment, man, you'll know the difference.
Treatment, okay, the treatment, how you're treated as a drummer, not necessarily a musician. As a drummer. There's a line there. There is sometimes.
A very bold line.
It's not even so much the venue or the promoter. Sometimes it's even your own band, depending on the gig. No offense to the bands you play.
When you're on an amateur gig, you drive your own car to the gig. You might not have a hotel. It's a lot of different things. Budget, emails, not just text messages. The gig that you're playing is on Bandhappy. It could be on bandhappy.com.
How much did I get paid for amateur gigs? So back in 08, 09, I did a recording. I was supposed to get paid a certain amount, and it is 2014. I still don't have my money.
Denied.
Now when I went on tour, we had a bus and all of that. No, didn't look like Lil Wayne's bus. It didn't look like Will Smith's bus. It looked like a Greyhound bus that you had to go pee on in the back, and you pray to God that nobody has to go number 2. Because if they do, and you got a 12-hour ride, oh God, they don't flush. They don't. That means whatever they do stays there for you to smell.
You ever been on a professional gig where you actually missed something from an amateur gig?
Well, there was this one time that I played amateur night. No, never mind. We won't go there.
When you're not on a professional gig, you're just at that tavern, that bar, that good old church. Sunday evening, 3 o'clock service. Praise God.
I mean, number one, the amateur gigs don't pay enough. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna feed you like some nice rotisserie chicken and this good macaroni and cheese. You show up there, what they got? Salad with no dressing, and then this old, crusty, hard bread that tastes like rocks.
When I was on tour, we didn't stay in hotels every night. We slept on a bus, took showers at truck stops. That ain't the treatment, okay? And the showers wasn't even every day, man. You know what, dude? Could we cut that, man? That's just embarrassing, dude. Like, man, that actually happened.
You know what? Professional gigs, there's a lot more pressure and there's a lot more on your shoulder. So that can be stress-inducing, and I don't miss stress. I don't know if you're a fan of stress.
I'm a fan of stress.
You are? Uh-oh. To each their own,
Yeah.
Amateur gig, professional gig, any gig. All I'm saying is take your craft seriously. Take your stuff professional. Be on time. Get you a nice watch. Be on time. Get you a nice watch. Be on time.
Basically, that tour was like one big amateur gig. It was the worst. But I played some professional gigs too, where I show up, my stuff is already set up. I ain't have to ask for nothing. They have water for me. They got food for me in the back. The only thing they didn't have was a bed with a Tempur-Pedic mattress and a pillow with 100 feathers in it.
When I'm at an amateur gig, or when I've done that before, I feel like everybody's kind of looking down at you as if you're there to earn stripes. You know what I mean? Like, this is your
cutting your teeth
boot camp.
Right.
Yeah, this is like gig boot camp. So you do what we say and when we say it, and you're definitely gonna use our house drum kit.
Oh my gosh. It was like when I was trying out for basketball, and I was just this chubby little white dude. I was like 4'8".
Oh, that's tough.
I'm not athletic at all, really,
Yeah.
and I just had to hustle, and
You must have really had to work hard.
I worked very hard. I mean, to create this fitness model physique.
All joking aside, sometimes you rock out the hardest at the amateur gigs though. That's like where you really get it in, cause it just don't matter. You just get it in.
So to all the chubby little white boys out there, play the drums. Play the drums. Drum code.
Drum code.
Drum code.
Drum code.
Drum code.